Hey everyone, welcome back to school. Back to school reactions here. Check it out, man. I just turned on the computer. Tom Donald's dropped something. Everybody's dropping something right now. No time to talk. No time to waste. Unless you're Snowflakes. Tom MacDonald. Snowflakes. Let's go.
If you lie to the government, they'll put you in prison. But when they lie to all of us, it's called being a politician. You think
Right.
taking guns away will save our kids from the killings? But you're
Right.
pro-choice, abortion kills way more children.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. I got somebody who I was talking to yesterday who says that taking the guns away solves all the problem, and that in other countries, when they don't have guns, there's less violence, less problems, blah, 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 blah. Told him, yeah, but we've had this as a fundamental right for since we founded our country. Like, what's the deal? Why do you think it's better to take it away now? Well, this person just happens to feel that guns are the issue. Well, I got news for you. It wasn't a gun who murdered my mom. It was the dude who pulled the trigger that murdered my mom. Period. So the whole taking the guns away argument, that don't work for me. Sorry if I ranted on that. Let's get on to the rest of all this stuff he's talking about, because it's true. If we lie to the government, we go to prison. They lie to us all the time. Just call them being politicians, right? Let's go.
So you think taking guns away will save our kids from the killings? But you're pro-choice, abortion kills way more children.
Right.
If America...
Yeah, and I bet you anything that they won't talk about that. That they won't talk about that. Well, that's a woman's right to choose. Really, well, it was our right to choose whether or not to bear arms, right? Every person doesn't have to own a gun, but they have the right to own a gun in America if they qualify, so to speak. You know what I mean? So let's go.
Cause so terrible and racist, it probably isn't safe to encourage immigration. Just saying, all the contradictions are embarrassing. You know who hates America the most? Americans. Trigger warnings used to be on TV for seizures, and now they're everywhere to protect millennials' feelings.
Oh
He,
my
she,
God.
his, him, hers, them, they.
Facts,
zero
facts,
pronouns, 'cause
facts,
everyone's a
facts,
retard
facts.
these days. Hear 'em preaching at the protest that hatred's the problem, but hating straight men, white folks, and Christians is common.
Yeah. So it's funny that one movement started saying that this race needs to be respected, this race should be loved equally, treated fairly, and now the biggest chant is that white people are the problem. They hate us now. So they went from it's wrong because we feel like you guys hate us to now we hate all of you and that's justified. It ain't going to end well, folks. Trust me, if people don't back down and calm down and go back to life.
Preaching at the protest that hatred's the problem, but hating straight men, white folks, and Christians is common. Coca-Cola telling people they should be less white. They preach intolerance, but if you disagree, they fight. There's a race war here, elections based on fear. Black lives only matter once every 4 years. Soldiers died for this country, and every...
Boy. Boy, did you hear that? And we've heard it before. When do the Black Lives Matter the most is when the politicians are running for office, because they'll say everything they can to get their vote. Not follow through with what they say. Just say everything they can to get their vote. Now he's going to go into something about military guys. Oh my gosh. Don't get me started. I'm not military. I got friends that are and who have suffered the consequences of some of the deployments or things that they had to deal with, and they don't hate the country. They don't hate the country for what happened to them. They don't blame the country for what happened to them. They love our country more than anything. They're sworn to protect and serve our Constitution from threats to our democracy in and outside of our country. Think about that for a minute. Then again, all new citizens are given that same oath. Seems to me like a lot of people that are American who were born here and are whining about it haven't paid too much attention to what it means to be an American citizen. I suggest that everybody who was born here and has never had to do the citizenship thing, why don't you go look at what the citizenship oath is? Okay? And then you tell me that if that's what everybody is swearing that they're willing to do and to believe in and to abide by, because America is so good. Why are you whining about it? Why are you whining about it? I ain't whining about America, the country. It's pointless. Our country goes through ups and downs, waves of this and that. The people are stupid right now. Let's go.
Based on fear, black lives only matter once every 4 years. Soldiers died for this country and every one of us benefits. Give welfare to the bums and forget about the veterans. Black
right?
folks and
Ooh.
folks divided by the news.
Fact.
We are all the same. We are red, white, and blue. Ashamed to be American? Okay, that's cool. Because honestly, we are all ashamed of you too. Y'all are so
Ooh.
The forecast said that
yeah, those of you that are ashamed of America, we're ashamed of you. That's pretty true.
make us see it your way. No way. Gasoline and propane. More flames. Oh no. No more snowflakes. They set us up to fail. That's what they built the system for. Put an ammunition shop across the street from a liquor store. Empowering women used to be different than this before. The role models got OnlyFans or dance on a stripper pole. I ain't tripping. I don't mean to be mean. But if our children are the future, then our future is bleak. They take an Adderall to focus, hit McDonald's to eat. They're addicted to phones and they take Xanax to sleep.
Think about that for just a second and ask yourself this question. Okay? And I'm going to mute my mic while I blow my nose real fast. Sorry, guys. Ask yourself this one question. How many meds? How many meds now? How many meds are children taking? Uppers to get them focused, or so you put it. Downers to put them to sleep. People have become addicted to all of these medicines that they push on us just to make us sedated, mellow, less upset, less whatever. You know, when I was a kid, they put me on Ritalin because I was obnoxious. They said they put me on back then on a dose that was probably not even legal to do because of how many times a day they had me taking it. I didn't need it. I wasn't hyperactive. I had serious issues about trauma that had happened in my life that we weren't allowed to talk about. And because we weren't allowed to talk about it, I acted aggressively, or I acted like a smartass, or I acted like I didn't care. And the way I acted, where I acted the most that way, was like at school. And so they just kept jacking me up full of Ritalin, thinking that was going to solve the problem, when in all reality, Ritalin wasn't going to help because I wasn't hyperactive. You know what I mean? Think about the medicines for a second.
They blurred the lines dividing communism and democracy. In 2021, we paint the patriots as Nazis. The men playing
right.
sports get trophies for winning. Like, great, let's celebrate a man for beating some women.
Wow.
If you're black, your life matters, you're supposed to embrace it. If you're rich or you're smart, then you're probably Asian. If you're gay, then you're brave, all of that I'm okay with. But if you're white, the stereotype is you are a racist. Blaming cap.
Right, whoa. And when did it become that everybody's white is a racist, man? You don't know me. You don't know anything about me. You don't know what I feel, what I think, how I feel about people. Why don't you get to know me before you judge me, meanies?
Then you're brave, all of that I'm okay with. But if you're white, the stereotype is you are a racist. Blaming capitalism like that's the reason things are tough. While you tweet from an iPhone and sip on a Starbucks. You're supporting what you stand against, you don't think you are. But a Percocet addict don't donate money to pharma. Damn,
right.
Dog, we're all afraid to speak the truth. And the more afraid we get, the more we hate the ones who do. You're ashamed to be American? Okay, that's cool. Cause honestly, we are all ashamed of you too. Y'all are so fake. Oh no. The forecast said that there'd be snowflakes. Whoa, you can make us see it your way. No way. Gasoline and propane, more flames. Oh,
gasoline and propane, more flames. Let's go.
We can all get along, but there's no stopping. Everybody's wrong, that's a real problem. They don't want to hear it, but they still talking. Soon enough, we running out of options. This ain't gonna end till it's in the coffin. Ay, we ain't gonna be friends till we try to squash it. Ay, I don't know how we can make amends or we drop it. Snowflakes melt when it's hot, kid. Y'all are so fake.
Right.
Oh no, the forecast said that there'd be snowflakes. Whoa. You can make us see it your way. No way. Gasoline and propane. More flames. Oh no. No more snowflakes.
Woo. Good job on the video, Nova. Again. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant production. Great song. Again, Tom being Tom does what Tom does and makes you stand up and say where you are. I'm definitely not a snowflake. I think the thing I got to work on is trying to understand that as much as common sense and logic works for me, like, why would you call somebody racist if you don't know anything about them? Why would you assume somebody's a bad person based on the color of their skin? Reverse racism is real, folks. They've turned it around. And it wasn't the general population that did this. It was controlled, programmed, predetermined marches and rallies and statements by paid, very expensive paid protesters who, ironically, the money is going to politicians, not to you guys. Not to you guys that are out protesting. You showed up because you thought it was a good cause. The people that were doing it in the first place, who started all of this, they ain't with you. They ain't with you. They're trying to create chaos and drive people apart. I got to ask you a question. Let's go back 10 years ago. Okay? Let's go back 8 years ago, 7 years ago. How come we weren't all white racists back then? Huh? Because it didn't exist. We weren't. Never have been. Sure, there's some bad people out there. Sure, there's some people out there that have some preconceived ideas and are prejudiced. Don't put it on the rest of us. That's not us. I love this song. I love that Tom put this song out. Tom's music with me is if you watch my reactions, you'll see some people get mad at me for reacting to this stuff because I have questions. The last reaction I did, people got mad at me because I took and peeled the music off and listened to just the lyrics to define something that he was saying, and everybody crucified me for it. I think that is indicative of the movement behind Tom MacDonald, is that they believe what he says. They believe everything he says, actually, which is kind of, in a way, itself a little scary. But they're adamant. They love his music. They try and defend him, even when he doesn't need to be defended at times. They're loyal to the T. And the problem is that same attitude is the same attitude that goes around in other organizations that also promote stuff that isn't necessarily right. Everybody believes everything they say because of a good pitch, man, a good sale, the way it's worded, the enthusiasm behind it, the emotion put into it when the person speaks it. And before you know it, you got masses of people believing all kinds of stuff that isn't true. I don't know what the solution is, folks. I know this. I love America. I love people. I love the people of America. I love my neighbors. concerned about my neighbors. I got one growing old, just as fast as my uncle. He's falling apart, having a hard time. My other buddy over here that I make guitars with just went to the hospital because he fell down and hurt himself, and he hurt himself pretty good. And I'm trying to pay attention to that, pay attention to how I show up in my community, how I show up in my family, how I show up in life, how I show up with you guys. If you're honest, you'll never, ever, ever have to tell some other story. The problem is so much of what's going on out there in America right now is because somebody started one story, then twisted it another way, and then twisted it another way, and then made it into something else. And it's like it's this thing. It's this steamroller effect, you know. Went from, boy, we need to raise attention about this thing that's going on with this group of people, to all of us, and now all white people. No, white people are the problem. White men especially are the problem. If you're this, you're classified as that. How am I classified as something that I never even did? Right? I don't get it. I hope it gets better. Hope you all have a great day. Tom MacDonald, thank you for this. Nova, great video. Hangover Gang, love you guys. Even though sometimes you give me grief, but I love you guys to death anyway. So hang in there. All right. We'll see y'all. Be healthy, be happy, be good to each other. Stay blessed. Peace out.